In this video, I'm going to introduce you to sets. Some key features of sets are that they can only contain unique elements, meaning that they can only contain one of each element. They are unordered. The order of elements is not fixed or predictable, and if you do something like print a set out to the console, the order in which the elements are shown is not always the same. They are unindexed, meaning you cannot access the elements by using indexing. They are mutable, so elements can be added or removed from the set, but those elements are unchangeable. You cannot modify them once the set is created. Some common set methods are the add method, which adds elements to the set, the clear method, which removes all elements from the set, the pop method, which removes and returns a random element from the set, the remove method, which removes an element or raises an error if that element does not exist, the discard method, which will remove an element or nothing will happen if the element does not exist, the difference method, which returns a new set of elements only in the current set, the intersection method, which returns a new set of elements common to the current and specified sets, the union method, which returns a new set with all unique elements from the current and specified sets, and the update method adds elements from the specified sets to the current set. And if I jump into my development environment here, you'll see that I have a variable my_set ready to create some sets and the print function to output them to the console so that we can see them. There are a couple different ways to create sets. The first way I will show you is simply by using a pair of curly braces. And if I put some elements in here separated by a comma and output this, we will see that we get the output of 1, 2, 3 in the curly braces, indicating that it is a set. Now, if I try to add 2 and 3 again to this and print it out again, we still only get 1, 2, 3, and that is because sets must contain unique elements. It cannot have duplicates in it, so it simply ignores this 2 and 3 here and does not add it to the set. And if I were to remove all elements from within the curly braces and run this, we get an output of an empty pair of curly braces, but unlike list, where an empty pair of square brackets is an empty list, this is not an empty set. This is actually an empty dictionary. And if I wrap the type function around the mySet variable and run it, we will get the output showing that it is class dict, which is short for dictionary. I am going to remove this type function real quick. To create an empty set, we actually have to type the set function name with an empty set of parentheses. And if I run this, we get the output of set with an empty set of parentheses, which is how Python displays an empty set. To create a set using the set function, we have to pass in an iterable object. So I'm going to pass it a list containing 1, 2, and 3. Now when I run this program, we'll see that I get the output of 1, 2, and 3 in curly braces, indicating that it is a set. Sets also support set comprehension, which is pretty much the same thing as list comprehension, where inside a pair of curly braces, you could put a variable name, which will act as the variable for each item in the iterable. And then the for the variable name again, in, then the iterable that we're going to pass in. In this case, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E twice or 3 times. And then a condition. So I'm going to put if L, which is going to be whatever item we are iterating on in this sequence here, is in the string ABC. So how this is going to work is L is my variable that each one of these characters is going to be passed into, and then it's going to check if that character is in this string ABC, and if it is, it will add it to the set. Now, because sets can only contain unique characters, even though it's going to see ABC 3 times, it's only going to put it into the set 1 time for each character. And when I run that, we'll see down here, we get the output CBA, and we'll notice that this order is CBA, even though it would have seen A, B, C, and that's the order that it would have been put in the set. But because sets are unordered, we cannot know how they are going to be output to the console if we put them in the print command. And that'll be it for the introduction to sets. In the next video, we will practice working with some of the set methods.